SIM is a single accounting soft solution for self-employed in small business. Simple for use, follows business logic, enables overview of complete business on click, fulfilling state authorities' standards. It is not just pure notice of business activity, but also the base for better overview of business and for improving business results. Almost all business activity is registered through forms for invoices and payments. Other forms are in function of them, like resources or business subjects form. Key form of soft solution, revenue and expenses registers all financial flow, and is a base for overview on complete business reports available through recapitulation report. Soft solution should register all revenue and expenses generated by invoices itself, but in some rare cases should be written by accountant manually. On click, see state of stock, assets, payments and balances. VAT and tax on profit are presented through official reports VAT 100 and SA 103 as needed by authorities. NIC 1 is for self-employed fixed week amount and additional NIC 4 is calculated as a percentage of profit. That means that all main data for self-employed are comprehended by this soft solution. Business subjects form is for basic data input about suppliers and customers. Follow the instructions for form fulfilling, in a status bar. Resources form is for all components of business activity which mean goods, assets and working force resource data. Write in ID of item, the name, producer, fabric number if asset, measure unit, minimum stock, input price and trade provision. Other fields are calculated by soft solution itself. Employee force, as resources component, is typed in as profession with price for working hour. From this form it could be seen complete worthiness of stocks. Form for assets and amortization data about assets are based on input invoice and technical data. Data about amortization in a table below are on monthly base. In document field, input month and year for calculation of amortization in a short date form. Choose from the asset field in a table behind and software should calculate amount. Supplier invoice form is filled out with data from supplier's invoice. Write in number of invoice, sort, way of payment and the date. The name of data input person is the name of user generated by operating system. Choose supplier from the combo box. Contents of combo box are all business subjects earlier written in basic data business subjects form. From the detailed table, choose item from the combo box resources basic data form and write in number of pieces bought. Soft solution should take last price of the item from basic data, but if the item price has changed meanwhile, new price should be rewritten in invoice form. If old price is rewritten with new one, software is recalculating all dependent data, provision and price including VAT, and new price should be valid for all stock of that item also in resources form. This could be modified, if needed in resources form, by correcting the price in that form. Original price of item on that concrete invoice could not be changed by that. In practice, that means that the same item could have different prices on different invoices and that data should stay no matter of price changes in basic data resources form. That means that invoices are sort of archived for price changes on items. We consider this method as a good way of keeping wealth of stock up to date, because last price is actual for all stock. Soft solution should sort the number of items on the stock itself for items input by supplier invoice. You could check state of stock before and after supplier's invoice input. Our provision for item should be changed in resources basic data. When finished with data input in detailed table, click on next invoice record to accept data from actual record. Customer's invoice form is for customer order and invoice based on order of goods. Choose from combo box customer, write in the number of order and invoice and the name of responsible data in employee field. Date is by default today, but it could be changed. In a table behind, choose item, write in number of units ordered by customer. The number of units on the stock should be subtracted for number of sold. Other fields should be calculated based on price and other data from database. The price, pulled out from basic data, should be changed, if needed. Clicking on Bill Put button, you could print bill for customer. Revenue and expenses form is for revenue and expenses data input. Write in document number, type of document, date and amount. This form is mainly filled out by Soft Solution itself. When data about suppliers or customers' invoices payments are typed in a forms for payments, Soft Solution writes revenue and expenses data in this form itself. You should type data just in a situation when revenue or expense is not the result of in or out invoice, for example bank credit or so. Soft Solution should fill out data in this form also in a case of wages. When wages are calculated, job expenses should be added by Soft Solution itself in this form. Customers' invoices, billings and VAT payments within dates form. When customer is chosen from the combo box, invoices just for that customer should be listed in a table. Otherwise, list should include all customers within 2 dates written in the fields for that purpose in a short date form. When got the payment from the customer for all amount of invoice or just a part, write in that payment in a paid column and the date of the payment in a date paid column. When amount of invoice is just partially paid, new payment of invoice should be rewritten in the same field, as well as date of new payment and amount remained for payment should be seen in remain column. These data should be registered by Soft Solution itself in revenue and expenses form. It is recommended to check it out by opening revenue or expenses form. Your VAT payments to state budget based on customers' invoice functioning in the same way like this, but of course in different columns of the form. VAT should be paid for non-paid export invoices as well. This form is the base for some reports needed by state authorities and should be fulfilled with care, and the data should be compared to data in revenue or expenses form as the method of self-control. Suppliers' invoices and VAT payments within dates form is for payments to the supplier data input, and for state budget VAT payments data input in special cases, for example when we use goods for our own purposes, not for resale or a case of importing goods. When supplier is chosen from the combo box, invoices just from that supplier should be listed in a table. When you pay to the customer for all amount of invoice or just a part, write in that payment in a paid column and the date of the payment in a date paid column. When amount of invoice is just partially paid, new payment of invoice should be rewritten in the same field, as well as date of new payment and amount remained for payment should be seen in remain column. These data should be registered by Soft Solution itself in revenue expenses form. It is recommended to check it out by opening revenue or expenses form. Your VAT payments to state budget based on supplier's invoice functioning in the same way like this, but of course in different columns of the form. This form is the base for some reports needed by state authorities. Recapitulation of complete business report contains various reports ordered by authorities and 2 graphs as an overview of complete business. Reports for authorities are VAT report, revenue and expenses, financial charges and duties, output invoices, input invoices, assets, funds duties. On click, you could print data within 2 dates you typed in at the beginning of the form. Graphs dynamically represent in and out invoices according to dates typed in. graph upward represents suppliers' invoices, VAT and remaining finance duties towards suppliers and VAT. Downward graph is the same but for customers' invoices. On a glance, you could see state of the business from these graphs, firm revenue and expenses, duties and charges towards business subjects and VAT duty.